Ya, so kita akan minta Haji Yusuf Wahab YB dulu untuk memberi ucapan dalam media statement dalam bahasa Malaysia. Selepas itu English by YB William Leong.
Okey, terima kasih rakan media. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera dan salam Malaysia Madani. Ini ada sedikit kenyataan media berhubung tentang cadangan pindaan Akta Orang Asli 1954. Jadi kami yang bertanda tangan di bawah selaku pengerusi kepada Jawatankuasa Pilihan Khas Parlimen bagi Hak Asasi Manusia, Pilihan Raya dan Reformasi Institusi, dan juga Jawatankuasa Pilihan Khas Parlimen bagi Perhubungan Antarabangsa dan Perdagangan Antarabangsa, dan saya sendiri selaku pengerusi Jawatankuasa Pilihan Khas Parlimen bagi Infrastruktur, Pengangkutan dan Komunikasi mengeluarkan kenyataan ini berhubung cadangan pindaan berkaitan hak tanah masyarakat pribumi ataupun orang asli di Semenanjung Malaysia. Ketiga-tiga jawatankuasa telah bersetuju untuk mengadakan satu pendengaran bersama pada mesyuarat parlimen yang akan datang. Kira-kira pada akhir Januari 2026 bagi menyediakan satu platform rasmi dan berstruktur untuk para pemimpin komuniti dan kerajaan Madani membentangkan pandangan serta keterangan mereka mengenai cadangan pindaan berkaitan hak tanah di bawah Akta Orang Asli 1954. Memandangkan akan terdapat implikasi sosial yang besar daripada pindaan-pindaan ini, kami percaya bahawa Parlimen mesti mempertimbangkan dan mendengar dengan teliti daripada satu, komuniti orang asli, kedua, kementerian-kementerian yang berkaitan, dan yang ketiga, pihak-pihak yang berkepentingan sebelum sebarang pindaan undang-undang dibentangkan oleh Kerajaan Madani. Kami menggesa Kerajaan Madani untuk mengemukakan sepenuhnya satu draft awal cadangan pindaan tersebut secepat yang boleh dilaksanakan dan tidak lewat daripada 3 bulan sebelum tarikh pembentangan rang undang-undang tersebut di Parlimen. Pembentangan draft awal akan membolehkan maklum balas yang bermakna dan substantif daripada komuniti orang asli, pertubuhan masyarakat sivil serta pakar-pakar bidang. Kami juga mencadangkan agar semua pihak berkepentingan menandatangani perjanjian tanpa pendedahan ataupun Non-Disclosure Agreement (NDA) dan tidak mengedarkan draft awal tersebut kepada umum. Niat kami bukan untuk mempolitikkan rang undang-undang ini, tetapi untuk memastikan bahawa mereka yang paling terkesan oleh undang-undang tersebut diberikan maklumat dan konsultasi yang mencukupi melalui proses yang berstruktur dan bertanggungjawab. Kami berharap kerajaan akan menerima cadangan-cadangan ini secara positif sebagai langkah konstruktif ke arah memperkenalkan reformasi sebenar dalam proses penggubalan undang-undang di Malaysia. Pendedahan awal draft undang-undang kepada komuniti berkaitan dan Jawatankuasa Pilihan Khas Parlimen Dui Partisan adalah salah satu ciri penting demokrasi matang dan proses perundangan yang melibatkan penyertaan yang lebih luas. Kami juga ingin menekankan bahawa perkara ini melibatkan sebuah komuniti besar yang telah lama terpinggir dengan anggaran seramai 200,000 orang asli di Semenanjung Malaysia. Kerangka undang-undang yang mengawal hak tanah, sumber rezeki dan warisan budaya mereka tidak seharusnya dipinda tanpa konsultasi dan kukuh dan penelitian yang terperinci oleh ahli parlimen daripada semua pihak. Sehubungan itu, kami bersedia untuk bekerjasama dengan Kerajaan Madani, wakil komuniti orang asli dan semua pihak berkepentingan untuk memastikan bahawa sebarang pindaan kepada Akta Orang Asli 1954 adalah adil, telus serta berasaskan keadilan dan penghormatan terhadap hak mereka. Jadi kita akan tandatangani kenyataan ini setelah semua kami membaca teks media. Selanjutnya saya serahkan kepada Yang Berhormat daripada William Leong untuk meneruskan bacaan teks dalam bahasa Inggeris. Terima kasih.
Terima kasih. This is the press statement on the Joint Committee hearing for proposed amendments to the Orang Asli Act 1954. We, the undersigned, as the chairpersons of the A. Parliamentary Special Select Committee on Human Rights, Election and Institutional Reform, B. the Parliamentary Special Select Committee on Infrastructure, Transportation and Communication, and C. the Parliamentary Special Select Committee on International Relations and International Trade, issue the following statement regarding the proposed amendments relating to the land rights of the Aboriginal people Orang Asli of West Malaysia. The three committees have agreed to convene a joint committee hearing at the next sitting of Parliament in late January 2026 to provide a formal and structured platform for community leaders and the Madani government to present their views and testimonies on the proposed amendments relating to land rights under the Orang Asli Act 1954. Given the far-reaching social implications of these amendments, we believe that Parliament must deliberate and listen carefully from A. the Orang Asli community, B. the relevant ministries, and C. other key stakeholders before any legislative changes are tabled by the Madani government. We urge the Madani government to fully disclose an advanced draft of the proposed amendments as soon as practicable, and no later than 3 months before the intended tabling date of the bill in Parliament. Disclosure of an advanced draft will enable meaningful and substantive feedback from the Orang Asli community, civil society organizations, and subject matter experts. We also recommend that all stakeholders shall sign the non-disclosure agreements and refrain from distributing the advanced draft publicly. Our intention is not to politicize the bill, but to ensure that the most affected by the law are adequately informed and consulted in a structured and responsible manner. We hope that the government will receive these proposals positively as a constructive step towards introducing genuine reforms in lawmaking process in Malaysia. Early disclosure of the draft legislation to relevant communities and bipartisan parliamentary committees is an important hallmark of a mature democracy and a more participatory legislative process. We also wish to emphasize that this matter concerns a large and historically marginalized community of approximately 200,000 Orang Asli in Peninsular Malaysia. The legal framework that governs their rights, land, livelihoods, and cultural heritage should not be amended without robust consultation and careful scrutiny by the parliamentarians from all sides. We therefore stand ready to work with the Madani government, the Orang Asli community, representatives, and all relevant stakeholders to ensure that any amendments to the Orang Asli Act 1954 are fair, transparent, and rooted in justice and respect for their rights. These are by the three chairpersons of the three select committees. Thank you.
Okay, we'll take questions if there's any from the media now. Any questions out there? Can I emphasize a few points? Number one, the Orang Asli community is well represented. You can see they're all here. They are also articulate. They are very fully aware of their rights. We also understand that the last meeting we had, prominent lawyer Mr. Lim Heng Seng from Lee Hishamuddin, Allen and Gladhill, that's a big law firm in KL, are on their side. So we urge the government, an early draft, we have experts, myself, William and I are lawyers. You know, Haji is an engineer. So we are well-educated people to understand concepts of agreements and stuff and the draft resolution. So please come out in advance draft. We don't want to see a repeat of like the URA bill where it was tabled there last minute and we had to ask the government to backtrack. So to avoid all this kind of problems and implications for the future, we always advise the government to change the law-making process, give us advance draft, we will sign the NDA, we will commit to secrecy, but it must be done through, actual visualization of the terms they want to introduce. It's not good enough to table it 4 days before, a vote is passed. Yeah, Malaysia must advance into a much more progressive, much more balanced kind of lawmaking process. Okay, any questions? Any more comments? Maybe, William?
This is an important first step where we talk about participatory democracy and we talk about the change. And the change is to transfer from a paternalistic framework into empowerment. And quite obviously, when we are talking about the Orang Asli Act, the first person and the last person that we should consult would be the community themselves. So we hope that we are taking the first step. This is why we have set up the parliamentary select committees to provide a forum for evidence gathering and testimony so that the government and the legislature can make better laws.
Yeah. Can I invite Haji Yusuf? Because Haji Yusuf is a parliamentarian from Sarawak, so he's very fully aware of customary right. Maybe some words from you.
Okay, terima kasih. Kita akan menelitilah apa isi kandungan memorandum ini. Memang sudah semestinya akan melibatkan isu-isu berkaitan dengan infrastruktur, pengangkutan dan juga komunikasi di kawasan penempatan orang asli di seluruh Malaysia. Jadi seperti mana di tempat saya juga di Sarawak memang ada masalah tentang tanah dan isu sebagainya. Apa yang penting adalah pelibatan daripada pihak komuniti bersama dengan kerajaan untuk sama-sama menyelesaikan masalah ini secara telus, secara adil, supaya semua pihak berpuas hatilah apabila undang-undang dilaksanakan di kemudian hari nanti. Jadi itu sebenarnya. Tapi pertama sekali saya tak nak kita prejudis. Kita lihat dahulu apakah isi kandungan memorandum ini dan kemudian kita akan bincang bersama. Dan ketiga-tiga Jawatankuasa ini akan berbincang bersama dan apakah yang terbaik yang boleh kita komen dan kita sama bangkitkan kepada Kerajaan Madani untuk kebaikan bersama, terutama sekali kepada masyarakat orang-orang asli di seluruh Semenanjung. Terima kasih. Okay. Ada soalan?
No. Oh. Maybe, yeah, okay. What we understand is there's been an ongoing dialogue. A consultant has been appointed by the government to meet the Orang Asli leaders. Some of them have not been fully consulted, so they're a bit, they just want to know more. They come to Parliament about 10 days ago and had discussion with us. So they're asking for whether we can intervene to ask for a platform to raise their concerns and get better engagement. I think it's necessary because we are parliamentarians and we need to get the details in. But the broad matter is it involves land issues. So, and land issues is complicated because it's federal and also state. More on the state side, but federal policy can drive. So we want to see whether this is reflective of, say, what is happening in Sabah and Sarawak, where customary rights are more fixed in the system, or what is really on board. We're not sure. So it's so important we have this hearing by the next sitting, which is January, late January. I think January, we are coming back to Parliament on the 19th, 19th January. So within that first week, we'll try to have that hearing there. We want the Madani government to come and tell us what's their intention. If the draft is ready, or an advanced draft is ready, we have to look at the terms carefully. It's not enough for government to say they had 300 engagement, 200 engagement with whom, without showing the text of the law. Yeah. So to answer a long story to your question, in short, I think is to do with land reforms. So that is so crucial. But we'd like to invite. Come. Okay. Malaysia is now on the verge of rare earth or critical mineral exploration. Most of this land will be in forest land. Many months ago, I was tasked to write a paper for the Prime Minister, which I did, where we started looking at the model based on Canada. So Canada have indigenous rights allocation, So if we are going to go forward and exploit this rare earth or critical mineral industry, I think this is a very important time for us to think about, using those kind of money, which is highly lucrative, to allocate some fair compensation to indigenous rights. I think that would be a good start. I mean, let's do it now before we start all the exploration and all the further production of rare earth. I think this will be a critical time for us to discuss. Yeah? Okay? Right. William, anything?
Okay, no more.
Haji? Okay, thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
Maybe we can do a group photo with the memo.
Yeah.
Can we do a group?
Yeah.
Yeah.